Hello again guys, welcome back to another Big Al Devlin video here at the House of Devlin. Thank you very much for tuning in, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be continuing our series that we've had on here for a little while called The Drink of the Gods. Now some of you may not actually realise what this series is about if you've not seen it before, but you probably can guess from the name what it's about. The Drink of the Gods. Basically what I do is I go out and I get a variety of new meads that I've not had before, I taste them, review, and then give my feedback to you. I'm not a poet, and you can probably tell, right? But anyway, today what I'm going to be doing, I'm actually going to be filming 4 videos for you today. I'm going to be releasing them over the week. But I'm going to be reviewing these 4 meads that you see behind me. Each one of them is a little bit different to one another, and of course I'll be giving my full review in each video. Now, these meads were given to me very graciously. I mean, someone who gives you free mead, right? That's a friend for certain, right? And it was given to me by a company called the Mead Boutique. Okay, you'll see their name and their website across the screen right now. It'll be popping up, but if you want to get their full details and copy and paste it because you don't want to type it out or whatever, then if you click on the description of the video beneath here, where my fingers are now, should be roughly where the arrow is, you'll get a full literature of their website and their Instagram accounts. But their website is themeadboutique.com and their Instagram account is @themeadboutique. Okay, at being the squiggly A. Now, just to try and hook you in to visiting the site, what they've done is they've given a very special offer to any of the viewers here on this channel. And basically, when you go to their site, if you want to purchase anything, it doesn't have to be any of these 4 meads, it could be something else that I've not reviewed. Go onto their site and put in the code House of Devlin, and you'll get 10% off your order. Now that's a bargain, I've got to say that for sure. Right, enough of that spiel, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get into drinking the meads now, and I'm not going to give you that rhyme again, don't worry. I'm going to give you my reviews and feedback on each one of them. Okay, so this is where the fun bit starts. So the mead that we're going to be looking at in this particular video is Light Mead by the Shire Meadery. Okay, and just give you a little look at the bottle there, so you can get your own sort of viewpoint of what it looks like. Getting a feel for it already. Now, appearances can be deceiving, don't you just put by its cover, but I must admit it's always nice to have a kind of dissect the outside of the bottle. If they put appearance into the outside, effort in the appearance of the outside of a bottle, then you can bet your bottom dollar you stand a good chance that the internal aspects of the mead should also be hopefully quite good also. Now, a little bit background on this. The Shire Meadery and this particular mead is made by a Dr. Benjamin Guscott, I believe, over in Aberystwyth, which is in Wales. And I'm very, very proud to say that because, of course, I'm actually half Welsh myself, so I'm going to be rooting for this. I'm hoping it's good, and I really, really hope it is good because I'm rooting for it, as I say, because of my Welsh background. So I'm hoping it's really nice. Don't disappoint me, I'm sure it won't. But it's actually made with a blend of Welsh honey, so it's nice that the honey is actually locally sourced. And this particular bottle is 200 mils, okay? But they do a bottle that's 750 mils also that's available on the website, themeadboutique.com. And it's got an alcoholic content of 5.5%. So it's also a sparkling mead also, okay? So with that kind of alcoholic content, the fact it's sparkling, that would immediately give you the impression that it's quite a light, easy mead to have and to drink, and you'll be able to drink a few bottles of these, especially a smaller bottle like this. You'd definitely be able to get through quite a few of these within a session, I'm pretty sure. But it's one of those that you probably want to enjoy maybe when you're watching some sport, when you sat down just watching a film, maybe you just feel like chilling after a hard day's work out. Summer's coming, so maybe outside in the sun on a hot summer's day, nice cold one of these, yeah, could do quite nicely, I imagine. So that's certainly what I've experienced from the Boozy Bees and the Gosnell's Hot Mead that I've already done reviews on. But this, my initial impressions actually is it's very much a wine bottle. You know, a small wine bottle, yes, but the larger one even more so that I've seen the pictures of. But that looks almost like a Sauternes. If you drink wine, it looks very similar to a Sauternes in presentation to some degree. You know, it's got a nice gold top here, which is okay. Sauternes doesn't have its corks, but you know, it has a gold top there. And what I mean is it kind of has like these shield shaped labels, which you expect normally on a fine wine. And it's described as a fine mead here, so there we go. I'm not too far off, hopefully. And of course, the initial impression is when I look at that, if I hold that up to the light and stuff, is you can see for yourself, that's a very high clarity mead. There's no cloudiness within it whatsoever, and it's got a very pale yellow hue to it. Okay, some meads, I haven't got it around me unfortunately. If I could, I'll show you. Fours mead, for example, that is a mead that is very orange almost in presentation, very dark orange. But this, as you can see, is a very, very, very pale yellow. So what you typically associate with normally sweeter, lighter meads. But as I say, appearances can be deceiving. But let's crack this baby open. Let's have a taste. Right, so guys, if you've seen in my videos before, you'll understand what I'm doing. It's very important to smell what you're about to drink. If you're ever doing wine tasting or any alcoholic tasting or even food tasting, it's very important to smell what you're about to taste or eat or drink. Okay? The reason for this is a significant amount of your sense of taste actually comes from your nose and your sense of smell. And you can test this by going out, eating something, drinking something. First of all, maybe, you know, normally, and then secondly, after that, pinch your nose and do the same. And you'll notice you'll lose a great deal of your sort of sense of taste. And so it's important when you're seeing me do this, if in doubt, have a good sniff. Okay, have a smell, take in the aroma of the mead or any drink that you're doing, and that will give you, first of all, an initial impression about what you're about to drink, what it's going to be like, and it also, as I say, enhances the taste and your experience of the taste. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I do love that sound. So it's a sparkling mead, as you can probably tell from the sound. Okay, so the smell is actually quite, I don't want to use this word because it makes it sound bad, but it's not. But weak. There's not a huge odour to it or aroma in any way whatsoever. There is a very subtle smell to it, and it smells like a white wine. Okay, so I can tell it's mead. There's a sort of distinction between a white wine and obviously a very sort of pale, sweet mead. But my impression is this is going to be a fairly sweet, but very light and delicate mead. That's what I get from the smell, at least anyway, and from the colour. It gives me just rough ideas of what to expect, but of course it could be completely different. So here we go, bottoms up, lads. Let's have a taste. Letting the aftertaste develop. Okay. You can have a little second sip. Okay. So I've done reviews on Boozy Bees and Gosnells already, and this little sort of four-part element of the Drink of the God series. And my initial impressions with them, I don't like ale or beer or anything along those lines, but I bloody like them, and they were very similar to that, kind of hopsy elements to them, and ale-like sort of tastes and smells. Now, I do like wine, and when I drink this, don't worry, I'm not using it as an excuse to drink more wine, more mead even. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it's my least favourite so far. Okay, we all have our preferences. Now, there are some major, really good things about this. It's very, very delicately put together. Okay, and that's probably why I'm struggling with it a little bit. Not struggling to enjoy it or anything, well, not struggling to drink it, but struggling to kind of feel passionate about it. Is because it's almost too subtle, in my opinion. It's very, 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 very delicate, very subtle. There is a mild sweetness to it, but it's not overpowering, and that can be a very good thing because it's going to make it very easy to drink. Okay, so that's actually a good thing. It's also a good thing being really sweet, because if you want to just enjoy that taste of the honey and stuff, that's great also. So that's just a comment on the drink itself. It's got a very subtle sweetness, and I quite like that. But there's no additional real sort of extra flavours to it that I can pick up on. There's a slight floral element to it. And we had that with the Gosnell's hot mead, actually. That was an elderflower sort of base floral taste. And it's got a very similar taste, but much, again, subtle taste to it. And actually, I must say, it's exquisitely put together. You can tell this is a fine mead, just like almost like a fine wine, because it has been blended, or, you know, made to, and the flavours sort of blended together so well that as a result, I'm kind of thinking, well, there isn't really that much taste to it. Yes, there's a subtle sweetness to it, but not much else. Me, and this is personal preference, I kind of like the dry meads, you know. I like those ones that sometimes, not all the time, kind of hit you like a sledgehammer. You know you got mead in your mouth, you know you're drinking something, right? And despite this being 5.5%, which is, you know, meads can go anywhere up to 14%, but the kind of meads that we're looking at, the sparkling meads, vary sort of really kind of from 4% upwards. So it's on the stronger side for a sparkling mead, that's for sure. But it's growing on me, actually. It has a fruity aspect to it. And I kind of like, as I say, the fruity taste sometimes that can be added. It's got a fruity floral. I can't quite work it out. Fruit or floral. I can't quite work it out, but I think it's actually, there we go. Look, it says here, floral, honey, and fruit notes. So there we go. I picked it up. It does have floral and fruity elements to it, and that's kind of what's confusing me, I think. It makes a very subtle blend. It's very delicate. Not my cup of tea, but that's not what I'm here to say. What I like and what I don't like. It's partly what I'm here to say, but I'm here to review the product. It's expertly made. I can understand why the maker has awards and all the rest of it. That is so finely made that it will appeal to a huge deal of people. Great many people will enjoy this mead. And it's very drinkable. I mean, I could probably drink 2-3 litres of that, no problem. And I probably wouldn't even know I'm drinking it until I go to stand up and I'll probably hit the ground, right? But no, that'd be very easy to drink large quantities of, and very easy to just drink a small amount of. But for me, as I say, I like to feel the mead. And with this, I just can't quite feel it. It is a very fine mead. So if you're after a fine drink, this is 100% for you. Don't let my opinions put you off, but I'm trying to be passionate about it for what it's good for, and as I say, it is very fine, it is very delicate. The tastes and the undertones to the taste are very subtle and beautifully mixed together. The texture is so smooth, it almost feels like it does, you don't even know it's alcohol, as I say. It's very easy to drink. Very easy on the palate, and I think it's something that would possibly grow on me, but is not to my natural preference, as I say, but it is brilliant, and I would recommend it if you like those finer wines. But if you like me and you like that little bit of a kind of a more manly drink, so to speak, then definitely I would go for, you know, something else. But if you're looking for that more wine element, but without having to spend the same kind of amount that you would on a very fine wine, this is much cheaper, then this is a very good alternative. In fact, actually, if I was to compare a quality wine for, like, say, I mean, I've had Sauternes and stuff like that, sometimes like £80 to £100 a bottle average, I would say. This is much cheaper. I mean, this costs, I think, about roughly £3, just under £3 for this small bottle, but okay, scale that up, what, you're looking at a tenner roughly thereabouts. Well, yeah, I'm comparing a £100 bottle of wine to roughly £10 worth of mead. yeah, I would go for this because I get as much enjoyment out of this as I would, as I say, a fine wine. So for that, it wins. It does win. And of course, I will finish off this little review with a tasting out of the horn, because I do believe that mead should always, at least a lot of meads, should be tasted and drunk out of a drinking horn. Not only is it traditional, but it actually changes the taste and the texture sometimes of the mead and enhances it. Poured in more than I thought. Okay, so what I would say with this is it tastes more to what I like out of the horn. It changes it ever so slightly. It's slightly less delicate out of the horn. Okay, so I'd actually would enjoy drinking it out of the horn because I could just drink so much of it. I'd probably buy 2 big bowls and just fill the horn. But if you want that even more delicate aspect, it's very delicate in the horn also, but if you want it extra delicate, drink out of the bottle. A good mead, a very good mead, just not to my taste, but something I would recommend. And as I say, if you like fine wine, you will 100% like that. Nice one. And guys, if you do, if you do like fine wines and you want to try and find mead, then please go to the guys who've supplied me with these meads, the meadboutique.com. As I say, it's all down in the bottom in the description, and it went across the screen earlier. Go to their site and put in House of Devlin, which is as the code in the checkout, I assume, and you'll get 10% off your purchases. So, makes it very easy. Makes it a lot easier when you've got 10% off just to experiment. And then once you know what you like, go crazy and buy lots of it. Nice one, guys.